Chapter 29 1 And Isaac the son of Abraham became old and advanced in days, and his eyes became heavy through age, they were dim and could not see. 2 At that time Isaac called unto Esau his son, saying, Get I pray thee thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, rise up and go forth into the field and get me some venison, and make me savory meat and bring it to me, that I may eat in order that I may bless thee before my death, as I have now become old and grey-headed. 3 And Esau did so, and he took his weapon and went forth into the field to hunt for venison as usual, to bring to his father as he had ordered him, so that he might bless him. For Rebekah heard all the words that Isaac had spoken unto Esau, and she hastened and called her son Jacob, saying, Thus did thy father speak unto thy brother Esau, and thus did I hear, now therefore hasten thou and make that which I shall tell thee. 5 Rise up and go, I pray thee, to the flock and fetch me 2 fine kids of the goats, and I will get the savory meat for thy father, and thou shalt bring the savory meat that he may eat before thy brother shall have come from the chase, in order that thy father may bless thee. 6 And Jacob hastened and did as his mother had commanded him, and he made the savory meat and brought it before his father before Esau had come from his chase. 7 And Isaac said unto Jacob, Who art thou, my son? And he said, I am thy firstborn Esau, I have done as thou didst order me, now therefore rise up I pray thee, and eat of my hunt, in order that thy soul may bless me as thou didst speak unto me. 8 And Isaac rose up and he ate and he drank, and his heart was comforted, and he blessed Jacob, and Jacob went away from his father. And as soon as Isaac had blessed Jacob and he had gone away from him, behold Esau came from his hunt from the field, and he also made savory meat and brought it to his father to eat thereof and to bless him. 9 And Isaac said unto Esau, And who was he that has taken venison and brought it me before thou camest, and whom I did bless? And Esau knew that his brother Jacob had done this, and the anger of Esau was kindled against his brother Jacob that he had acted thus toward him. 10 And Esau said, Is he not rightly called Jacob? For he has supplanted me twice, he took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And Esau wept greatly, and when Isaac heard the voice of his son Esau weeping, Isaac said unto Esau, What can I do, my son? Thy brother came with subtlety and took away thy blessing. And Esau hated his brother Jacob on account of the blessing that his father had given him, and his anger was greatly roused against him. 11 And Jacob was very much afraid of his brother Esau, and he rose up and fled to the house of Eber the son of Shem, and he concealed himself there on account of his brother. And Jacob was 63 years old when he went forth from the land of Canaan from Hebron, and Jacob was concealed in Eber's house 14 years on account of his brother Esau, and he there continued to learn the ways of the Lord and his commandments. 12 And when Esau saw that Jacob had fled and escaped from him, and that Jacob had cunningly obtained the blessing, then Esau grieved exceedingly, and he was also vexed at his father and mother. And he also rose up and took his wife and went away from his father and mother to the land of Seir, and he dwelt there. And Esau saw there a woman from amongst the daughters of Het whose name was Basmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and he took her for a wife in addition to his first wife. And Esau called her name Adah, saying the blessing had in that time passed from him. 13 And Esau dwelt in the land of Seir 6 months without seeing his father and mother. And afterward Esau took his wives and rose up and returned to the land of Canaan, and Esau placed his 2 wives in his father's house in Hebron. 14 And the wives of Esau vexed and provoked Isaac and Rebekah with their works, for they walked not in the ways of the Lord, but served their father's gods of wood and stone as their father had taught them, and they were more wicked than their father. 15 And they went according to the evil desires of their hearts, and they sacrificed and burnt incense to the Baalim, and Isaac and Rebekah became weary of them. 16 And Rebekah said, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Het. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Het, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good then is life unto me? 17 And in those days Adah the wife of Esau conceived and bare him a son, and Esau called the name of the son that was born unto him Eliphaz, and Esau was 65 years old when she bare him. 18 And Ishmael the son of Abraham died in those days in the 64th year of the life of Jacob, and all the days that Ishmael lived were 137 years, and he died. 19 And when Isaac heard that Ishmael was dead he mourned for him, and Isaac lamented over him many days. 20 And at the end of 14 years of Jacob's residing in the house of Eber, Jacob desired to see his father and mother, and Jacob came to the house of his father and mother to Hebron, and Esau had in those days forgotten what Jacob had done to him in having taken the blessing from him in those days. 21 And when Esau saw Jacob coming to his father and mother he remembered what Jacob had done to him, and he was greatly incensed against him, and he sought to slay him. 22 And Isaac the son of Abraham was old and advanced in days, and Esau said, Now my father's time is drawing nigh that he must die, and when he shall die I will slay my brother Jacob. 23 And this was told to Rebekah, and she hastened and sent and called for Jacob her son, and she said unto him, Arise, go and flee to Haran to my brother Laban, and remain there for some time, until thy brother's anger be turned from thee, and then shalt thou come back. 24 And Isaac called unto Jacob and said unto him, Take not a wife from the daughters of Canaan, for thus did our father Abraham command us according to the word of the Lord which he had commanded him, saying, Unto thy seed will I give this land. If thy children keep my covenant that I have made with thee, then will I also perform to thy children that which I have spoken unto thee, and I will not forsake them. 34 And he closely followed Jacob, and he lurked for him in the border of the land of Canaan opposite to the city of Shechem. 35 And Jacob saw Eliphaz and his men pursuing him, and Jacob stood still in the place in which he was going, in order to know what this was, for he did not know the thing. And Eliphaz drew his sword, and he went on advancing, he and his men, toward Jacob. And Jacob said unto them, What is to do with you that you have come hither, and what meaneth it that you pursue with your swords? 36 And Eliphaz came near to Jacob, and he answered and said unto him, Thus did my father command me, and now therefore I will not deviate from the orders which my father gave me. And when Jacob saw that Esau had spoken to Eliphaz to employ force, Jacob then approached and supplicated Eliphaz and his men, saying to him, 37 Behold all that I have and which my father and mother gave unto me, that take unto thee and go from me, and do not slay me, and may this thing be accounted unto thee a righteousness. 38 And the Lord caused Jacob to find favor in the sight of Eliphaz the son of Esau, and his men, and they hearkened to the voice of Jacob, and they did not put him to death. And Eliphaz and his men took all belonging to Jacob together with the silver and gold that he had brought with him from Beersheba. They left him nothing. 39 And Eliphaz and his men went away from him, and they returned to Esau to Beersheba, and they told him all that had occurred to them with Jacob, and they gave him all that they had taken from Jacob. 40 And Esau was indignant at Eliphaz his son, and at his men that were with him, because they had not put Jacob to death. 41 And they answered and said unto Esau, Because Jacob supplicated us in this matter not to slay him, our pity was excited toward him, and we took all belonging to him and brought it unto thee. And Esau took all the silver and gold which Eliphaz had taken from Jacob, and he put them by in his house. 42 At that time when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and had commanded him, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife from amongst the daughters of Canaan, and that the daughters of Canaan were bad in the sight of Isaac and Rebekah. 43 Then he went to the house of Ishmael his uncle, and in addition to his older wives he took Machlath the daughter of Ishmael, the sister of Nebaioth, for a wife. Chapter 31 And Jacob went forth continuing his road to Haran, and he came as far as Mount Moriah, and he tarried there all night near the city of Luz. And the Lord appeared there unto Jacob on that night, and he said unto him, I am the Lord God of Abraham and the God of Isaac thy father. The land upon which thou liest I will give unto thee and thy seed. 2 And behold I am with thee and will keep thee wherever thou goest, and I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and I will cause all thine enemies to fall before thee, and when they shall make war with thee they shall not prevail over thee, and I will bring thee again unto this land with joy, with children, and with great riches. 3 And Jacob awoke from his sleep, and he rejoiced greatly at the vision which he had seen, and he called the name of that place Bethel. And Jacob rose up from that place quite rejoiced, and when he walked his feet felt light to him for joy, and he went from there to the land of the children of the east, and he returned to Haran, and he sat by the shepherd's well. 5 And he there found some men, going from Haran to feed their flocks, and Jacob made inquiries of them, and they said, We are from Haran. 6 And he said unto them, Do you know Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him, and behold his daughter Rachel is coming along to feed her father's flock. 7 Whilst he was yet speaking with them, Rachel the daughter of Laban came to feed her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. 8 And when Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, he ran and kissed her, and lifted up his voice and wept. 9 And Jacob told Rachel that he was the son of Rebekah, her father's sister, and Rachel ran and told her father, and Jacob continued to cry because he had nothing with him to bring to the house of Laban. 10 And when Laban heard that his sister's son Jacob had come, he ran and kissed him and embraced him and brought him into the house and gave him bread, and he ate. 11 And Jacob related to Laban what his brother Esau had done to him, and what his son Eliphaz had done to him in the road. 12 And Jacob resided in Laban's house for 1 month, and Jacob ate and drank in the house of Laban, and afterward Laban said unto Jacob, Tell me what shall be thy wages, for how canst thou serve me for naught? 13 And Laban had no sons but only daughters, and his other wives and handmaids were still barren in those days, and these are the names of Laban's daughters which his wife Adinah had borne unto him. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. And Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored, and Jacob loved her. 14 And Jacob said unto Laban, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel thy younger daughter. And Laban consented to this, and Jacob served Laban 7 years for his daughter Rachel. 15 And in the 2nd year of Jacob's dwelling in Haran, that is in the 79th year of the life of Jacob, in that year died Eber the son of Shem, he was 464 years old at his death. 16 And when Jacob heard that Eber was dead he grieved exceedingly, and he lamented and mourned over him many days. 17 And in the 3rd year of Jacob's dwelling in Haran, Basmath, the daughter of Ishmael, the wife of Esau, bare unto him a son, and Esau called his name Ruel. 18 And in the 4th year of Jacob's residence in the house of Laban, the Lord visited Laban and remembered him on account of Jacob, and sons were born unto him, and his firstborn was Beer, his second was Alib, and the third was Chorash. 19 And the Lord gave Laban riches and honor, sons and daughters, and the man increased greatly on account of Jacob. 20 And Jacob in those days served Laban in all manner of work, in the house and in the field, and the blessing of the Lord was in all that belonged to Laban in the house and in the field. 21 And in the 5th year died Jehudith, the daughter of Beeri, the wife of Esau, in the land of Canaan, and she had no sons but daughters only. 22 And these are the names of her daughters which she bare to Esau, the name of the elder was Martzith, and the name of the younger was Puth. 23 And when Jehudith died, Esau rose up and went to Seir to hunt in the field as usual, and Esau dwelt in the land of Seir for a long time. 24 And in the 6th year Esau took for a wife, in addition to his other wives, Ahlibamah, the daughter of Zebeon the Hivite, and Esau brought her to the land of Canaan. 25 And Ahlibamah conceived and bare unto Esau 3 sons, Yush, Yalan, and Korah. 26 And in those days in the land of Canaan, there was a quarrel between the herdsmen of Esau and the herdsmen of the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, for Esau's cattle and goods were too abundant for him to remain in the land of Canaan, in his father's house, and the land of Canaan could not bear him on account of his cattle. 27 And when Esau saw that his quarreling increased with the inhabitants of the land of Canaan, he rose up and took his wives and his sons and his daughters, and all belonging to him, and the cattle which he possessed, and all his property that he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and he went away from the inhabitants of the land to the land of Seir, and Esau and all belonging to him dwelt in the land of Seir. 28 But from time to time Esau would go and see his father and mother in the land of Canaan, and Esau intermarried with the Horites, and he gave his daughters to the sons of Seir, the Horite. 29 And he gave his elder daughter Martzith to Anna, the son of Zebeon, his wife's brother, and Puth he gave to Azar, the son of Bilhan the Horite, and Esau dwelt in the mountain, he and his children, and they were fruitful and multiplied. 30 And Deborah remained with Jacob in Haran, and she did not return with the servants of Isaac to the land of Canaan, and Deborah resided with Jacob's wives and children in Haran. 31 And Jacob served Laban 6 years longer, and when the sheep brought forth, Jacob removed from them such as were speckled and spotted, as he had determined with Laban, and Jacob did so at Laban's for 6 years, and the man increased abundantly, and he had cattle and maidservants and menservants, camels and asses. 32 And Jacob had 200 drove of cattle, and his cattle were of large size and of beautiful appearance and were very productive, and all the families of the sons of men desired to get some of the cattle of Jacob, for they were exceedingly prosperous. 33 And many of the sons of men came to procure some of Jacob's flock, and Jacob gave them a sheep for a manservant or a maidservant or for an ass or a camel, or whatever Jacob desired from them they gave him. 34 And Jacob obtained riches and honor and possessions by means of these transactions with the sons of men, and the children of Laban envied him of this honor. 35 And in the course of time he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's has he acquired all this glory. 36 And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban and of his children, and behold it was not toward him in those days as it had been before. 37 And the Lord appeared to Jacob at the expiration of the 6 years, and said unto him, Arise, go forth out of this land, and return to the land of thy birthplace, and I will be with thee. 38 And Jacob rose up at that time, and he mounted his children and wives and all belonging to him upon camels, and he went forth to go to the land of Canaan to his father Isaac. 39 And Laban did not know that Jacob had gone from him, for Laban had been that day sheep shearing. 40 And Rachel stole her father's images, and she took them and she concealed them upon the camel upon which she sat, and she went on. 41 And this is the manner of the images, in taking a man who is the firstborn and slaying him and taking the hair off his head, and taking salt and salting the head and anointing it in oil, then taking a small tablet of copper or a tablet of gold and writing the name upon it, and placing the tablet under his tongue, and taking the head with the tablet under the tongue and putting it in the house. and lighting up lights before it and bowing down to it. 42 And at the time when they bow down to it, it speaketh to them in all matters that they ask of it, through the power of the name which is written in it. 43 And some make them in the figures of men, of gold and silver, and go to them in times known to them, and the figures receive the influence of the stars, and tell them future things, and in this manner were the images which Rachel stole from her father. 44 And Rachel stole these images which were her father's, in order that Laban might not know through them where Jacob had gone. 45 And Laban came home and he asked concerning Jacob and his household, and he was not to be found, and Laban sought his images to know where Jacob had gone, and could not find them, and he went to some other images, and he inquired of them and they told him that Jacob had fled from him to his fathers, to the land of Canaan. 46 And Laban then rose up and he took his brothers and all his servants, and he went forth and pursued Jacob, and he overtook him in Mount Gilead. 47 And Laban said unto Jacob, What is this thou hast done to me to flee and deceive me, and lead my daughters and their children as captives taken by the sword? 48 And thou didst not suffer me to kiss them and send them away with joy, and thou didst steal my gods and didst go away. 49 And Jacob answered Laban, saying, Because I was afraid lest thou wouldst take thy daughters by force from me, and now with whomsoever thou findest thy gods he shall die. 50 And Laban searched for the images and he examined in all Jacob's tents and furniture, but could not find them. 51 And Laban said unto Jacob, We will make a covenant together and it shall be a testimony between me and thee, if thou shalt afflict my daughters, or shalt take other wives besides my daughters, even God shall be a witness between me and thee in this matter. 52 And they took stones and made a heap, and Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and thee, therefore he called the name thereof Gilead. 53 And Jacob and Laban offered sacrifice upon the mount, and they ate there by the heap, and they tarried in the mount all night, and Laban rose up early in the morning, and he wept with his daughters and he kissed them, and he returned unto his place. 54 And he hastened and sent off his son Beer, who was 17 years old, with Abichoroth the son of Uzi the son of Nahor, and with them were 10 men. 55 And they hastened and went and passed on the road before Jacob, and they came by another road to the land of Seir. 56 And they came unto Esau and said unto him, Thus saith thy brother and relative thy mother's brother Laban the son of Bethuel, saying, 57 Hast thou heard what Jacob thy brother has done unto me, who first came to me naked and bare, and I went to meet him, and brought him to my house with honor, and I made him great, and I gave him my 2 daughters for wives and also 2 of my maids. 58 And God blessed him on my account, and he increased abundantly and had sons, daughters and maidservants. 59 He has also an immense stock of flocks and herds, camels and asses, also silver and gold in abundance. And when he saw that his wealth increased, he left me whilst I went to shear my sheep, and he rose up and fled in secrecy. 60 And he lifted his wives and children upon camels, and he led away all his cattle and property which he acquired in my land, and he lifted up his countenance to go to his father Isaac, to the land of Canaan. 61 And he did not suffer me to kiss my daughters and their children, and he led my daughters as captives taken by the sword, and he also stole my gods and he fled. 62 And now I have left him in the mountain of the brook of Jabbok, him and all belonging to him. He lacketh nothing. 63 If it be thy wish to go to him, go then and there wilt thou find him, and thou canst do unto him as thy soul desireth. And Laban's messengers came and told Esau all these things. 64 And Esau heard all the words of Laban's messengers, and his anger was greatly kindled against Jacob, and he remembered his hatred, and his anger burned within him. 65 And Esau hastened and took his children and servants and the souls of his household, being 60 men, and he went and assembled all the children of Seir the Horite and their people, being 340 men, and took all this number of 400 men with drawn swords, and he went unto Jacob to smite him. 66 And Esau divided this number into several parts, and he took the 60 men of his children and servants and the souls of his household as one head, and gave them in care of Eliphaz his eldest son. 67 And the remaining heads he gave to the care of the 6 sons of Seir the Horite, and he placed every man over his generations and children. 68 And the whole of this camp went as it was, and Esau went amongst them toward Jacob, and he conducted them with speed. 69 And Laban's messengers departed from Esau and went to the land of Canaan, and they came to the house of Rebekah the mother of Jacob and Esau. 70 And they told her saying, Behold thy son Esau has gone against his brother Jacob with 400 men, for he heard that he was coming, and he is gone to make war with him, and to smite him and to take all that he has. 71 And Rebekah hastened and sent 72 men from the servants of Isaac to meet Jacob on the road, for she said, Peradventure, Esau may make war in the road when he meets him. 72 And these messengers went on the road to meet Jacob, and they met him in the road of the brook on the opposite side of the brook Jabbok. And Jacob said when he saw them, "This camp is destined to me from God." And Jacob called the name of that place Machnam. 73 And Jacob knew all his father's people, and he kissed them and embraced them and came with them. And Jacob asked them concerning his father and mother, and they said they were well. 74 And these messengers said unto Jacob, "Rebekah thy mother has sent us to thee, saying, I have heard, my son, that thy brother Esau has gone forth against thee on the road with men from the children of Seir the Horite." 75 And therefore, my son, hearken to my voice and see with thy counsel what thou wilt do, and when he cometh up to thee, supplicate him, and do not speak rashly to him, and give him a present from what thou possessest, and from what God has favored thee with. 76 And when he asketh thee concerning thy affairs, conceal nothing from him, perhaps he may turn from his anger against thee and thou wilt thereby save thy soul, thou and all belonging to thee, for it is thy duty to honor him, for he is thy elder brother. 77 And when Jacob heard the words of his mother which the messengers had spoken to him, Jacob lifted up his voice and wept bitterly, and did as his mother then commanded him. Chapter 32. 1 And at that time Jacob sent messengers to his brother Esau toward the land of Seir, and he spoke to him words of supplication. 2 And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye say to my lord, to Esau, Thus saith thy servant Jacob, Let not my lord imagine that my father's blessing with which he did bless me has proved beneficial to me. 3 For I have been these 20 years with Laban, and he deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, as it has all been already told unto my lord. For I served him in his house very laboriously, and God afterward saw my affliction, my labor and the work of my hands, and he caused me to find grace and favor in his sight. 5 And I afterward through God's great mercy and kindness acquired oxen and asses and cattle, and men servants and maid servants. 6 And now I am coming to my land and my home to my father and mother, who are in the land of Canaan, and I have sent to let my lord know all this in order to find favor in the sight of my lord, so that he may not imagine that I have of myself obtained wealth, or that the blessing with which my father blessed me has benefited me. 7 And those messengers went to Esau, and found him on the borders of the land of Edom going toward Jacob, and 400 men of the children of Seir the Horite were standing with drawn swords. 8 And the messengers of Jacob told Esau all the words that Jacob had spoken to them concerning Esau. 9 And Esau answered them with pride and contempt, and said unto them, Surely I have heard and truly it has been told unto me what Jacob has done to Laban, who exalted him in his house and gave him his daughters for wives, and he begot sons and daughters, and abundantly increased in wealth and riches in Laban's house through his means. 10 And when he saw that his wealth was abundant and his riches great, he fled with all belonging to him from Laban's house, and he led Laban's daughters away from the face of their father, as captives taken by the sword without telling him of it. 11 And not only to Laban has Jacob done thus, but also unto me has he done so, and has twice supplanted me, and shall I be silent? 12 Now therefore I have this day come with my camps to meet him, and I will do unto him according to the desire of my heart. 13 And the messengers returned and came to Jacob and said unto him, We came to thy brother, to Esau, and we told him all thy words, and thus has he answered us, and behold he cometh to meet thee with 400 men. 14 Now then know and see what thou shalt do, and pray before God to deliver thee from him. 15 And when he heard the words of his brother which he had spoken to the messengers of Jacob, Jacob was greatly afraid and he was distressed. 16 And Jacob prayed to the Lord his God, and he said, O Lord God of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, thou didst say unto me when I went away from my father's house, saying, 17 I am the Lord God of thy father Abraham and the God of Isaac, unto thee do I give this land and thy seed after thee, and I will make thy seed as the stars of heaven, and thou shalt spread forth to the 4 sides of heaven, and in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. 18 And thou didst establish thy words, and didst give unto me riches and children and cattle, as the utmost wishes of my heart didst thou give unto thy servant. Thou didst give unto me all that I asked from thee, so that I lacked nothing. 19 And thou didst afterward say unto me, Return to thy parents and to thy birthplace, and I will still do well with thee. 20 And now that I have come, and thou didst deliver me from Laban, I shall fall in the hands of Esau, who will slay me, yea, together with the mothers of my children. 21 Now therefore, O Lord God, deliver me, I pray thee, also from the hands of my brother Esau, for I am greatly afraid of him. 22 And if there is no righteousness in me, do it for the sake of Abraham and my father Isaac. 23 For I know that through kindness and mercy have I acquired this wealth. Now therefore I beseech thee to deliver me this day with thy kindness and to answer me. 24 And Jacob ceased praying to the Lord, And he divided the people that were with him with the flocks and cattle into 2 camps, and he gave the half to the care of Damesek, the son of Eleazar, Abraham's servant, for a camp, with his children, and the other half he gave to the care of his brother Elianas the son of Eleazar, to be for a camp with his children. 25 And he commanded them, saying, Keep yourselves at a distance with your camps, and do not come too near each other, and if Esau come to one camp and slay it, the other camp at a distance from it will escape him. 26 And Jacob tarried there that night, and during the whole night he gave his servants instructions concerning the forces and his children. 27 And the Lord heard the prayer of Jacob on that day, and the Lord then delivered Jacob from the hands of his brother Esau. 28 And the Lord sent 3 angels of the angels of heaven, and they went before Esau and came to him. 29 And these angels appeared unto Esau and his people as 2,000 men, riding upon horses furnished with all sorts of war instruments, and they appeared in the sight of Esau and all his men to be divided into 4 camps, with 4 chiefs to them. 30 And one camp went on, and they found Esau coming with 400 men toward his brother Jacob, and this camp ran toward Esau and his people and terrified them, and Esau fell off the horse in alarm, and all his men separated from him in that place, for they were greatly afraid. 31 And the whole of the camp shouted after them when they fled from Esau, and all the warlike men answered, saying, 32 Surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servant of God, and who then can stand against us? And Esau said unto them, O then, my lord and brother Jacob is your lord, whom I have not seen for these 20 years, and now that I have this day come to see him, do you treat me in this manner? 33 And the angels answered him, saying, As the Lord liveth, were not Jacob of whom thou speakest thy brother, we had not let one remaining from thee and thy people, but only on account of Jacob we will do nothing to them. 34 And this camp passed from Esau and his men, and it went away, and Esau and his men had gone from them about a league when the second camp came toward him with all sorts of weapons, and they also did unto Esau and his men as the first camp had done to them. 35 And when they had left it to go on, behold, the third camp came toward him, and they were all terrified, and Esau fell off the horse, and the whole camp cried out and said, Surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servant of God, and who can stand against us? 36 And Esau again answered them, saying, O then, Jacob my lord and your lord is my brother, and for 20 years I have not seen his countenance, and hearing this day that he was coming, I went this day to meet him, and do you treat me in this manner? 37 And they answered him, and said unto him, As the Lord liveth, were not Jacob thy brother as thou didst say, we had not left a remnant from thee and thy men, but on account of Jacob of whom thou speakest being thy brother, we will not meddle with thee or thy men. 38 And the third camp also passed from them, and he still continued his road with his men toward Jacob, when the fourth camp came toward him, and they also did unto him and his men as the others had done. 39 And when Esau beheld the evil which the 4 angels had done to him and to his men, he became greatly afraid of his brother Jacob, and he went to meet him in peace. 40 And Esau concealed his hatred against Jacob, because he was afraid of his life on account of his brother Jacob, and because he imagined that the 4 camps that he had lighted upon were Jacob's servants. 41 And Jacob tarried that night with his servants in their camps, and he resolved with his servants to give unto Esau a present from all that he had with him, and from all his property. And Jacob rose up in the morning, he and his men, and they chose from amongst the cattle a present for Esau. 42 And this is the amount of the present which Jacob chose from his flock to give unto his brother Esau. And he selected 240 head from the flocks, and he selected from the camels and asses 30 each, and of the herds he chose 50 kine. 43 And he put them all in 10 droves, and he placed each sort by itself, and he delivered them into the hands of 10 of his servants, each drove by itself. 44 And he commanded them and said unto them, Keep yourselves at a distance from each other, and put a space between the droves, and when Esau and those who are with him shall meet you and ask you, saying, Whose are you, and whither do you go, and to whom belongeth all this before you, you shall say unto them, We are the servants of Jacob, and we come to meet Esau in peace, and behold Jacob cometh behind us. 45 And that which is before us is a present sent from Jacob to his brother Esau. 46 And if they shall say unto you, Why doth he delay behind you from coming to meet his brother and to see his face? Then you shall say unto them, Surely he cometh joyfully behind us to meet his brother, for he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth to him, and after this I will see his face, peradventure he will accept of me. 47 So the whole present passed on in the hands of his servants, and went before him on that day, and he lodged that night with his camps by the border of the brook of Jabbok, and he rose up in the midst of the night, and he took his wives and his maidservants, and all belonging to him, and he that night passed them over the ford Jabbok. 48 And when he passed all belonging to him over the brook, Jacob was left by himself, and a man met him, and he wrestled with him that night until the breaking of the day, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint through wrestling with him. 49 And at the break of day the man left Jacob there, and he blessed him and went away, and Jacob passed the brook at the break of day, and he halted upon his thigh. 50 And the sun rose upon him when he had passed the brook, and he came up to the place of his cattle and children. 51 And they went on till midday, and whilst they were going the present was passing on before them. 52 And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold Esau was at a distance, coming along with many men, about 400, and Jacob was greatly afraid of his brother. 53 And Jacob hastened and divided his children unto his wives and his handmaids, and his daughter Dinah he put in a chest, and delivered her into the hands of his servants. 54 And he passed before his children and wives to meet his brother, and he bowed down to the ground, yea he bowed down 7 times until he approached his brother, and God caused Jacob to find grace and favor in the sight of Esau and his men, for God had heard the prayer of Jacob. 55 And the fear of Jacob and his terror fell upon his brother Esau, for Esau was greatly afraid of Jacob for what the angels of God had done to Esau, and Esau's anger against Jacob was turned into kindness. 56 And when Esau saw Jacob running toward him, he also ran toward him and he embraced him, and he fell upon his neck and they kissed and they wept. 57 And God put fear and kindness toward Jacob in the hearts of the men that came with Esau, and they also kissed Jacob and embraced him. 58 And also Eliphaz the son of Esau with his 4 brothers sons of Esau, wept with Jacob, and they kissed him and embraced him, for the fear of Jacob had fallen upon them all. 59 And Esau lifted up his eyes and saw the women with their offspring, the children of Jacob, walking behind Jacob and bowing along the road to Esau. 60 And Esau said unto Jacob, Who are these with thee, my brother? Are they thy children or thy servants? And Jacob answered Esau and said, They are my children which God hath graciously given to thy servant. 61 And whilst Jacob was speaking to Esau and his men, Esau beheld the whole camp, and he said unto Jacob, Whence didst thou get the whole of the camp that I met yesternight? And Jacob said, To find favor in the sight of my Lord, it is that which God graciously gave to thy servant. 62 And the present came before Esau, and Jacob pressed Esau, saying, Take I pray thee the present that I have brought to my Lord. And Esau said, Wherefore is this my purpose? Keep that which thou hast unto thyself. 63 And Jacob said, It is incumbent upon me to give all this, since I have seen thy face, that thou still livest in peace. 64 And Esau refused to take the present, and Jacob said unto him, I beseech thee my Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand, for I have therefore seen thy face, as though I had seen a godlike face, because thou wast pleased with me. 65 And Esau took the present, and Jacob also gave unto Esau silver and gold and bdellium, for he pressed him so much that he took them. 66 And Esau divided the cattle that were in the camp, and he gave the half to the men who had come with him, for they had come on hire, and the other half he delivered unto the hands of his children. 67 And the silver and gold and bdellium he gave in the hands of Eliphaz his eldest son. And Esau said unto Jacob, Let us remain with thee, and we will go slowly along with thee until thou comest to my place with me, that we may dwell there together. 68 And Jacob answered his brother and said, I would do as my Lord speaketh unto me, but my Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with their young who are with me, go but slowly, for if they went swiftly they would all die, for thou knowest their burdens and their fatigue. 69 Therefore let my Lord pass on before his servant, and I will go on slowly for the sake of the children and the flock, until I come to my Lord's place to Seir. 70 And Esau said unto Jacob, I will place with thee some of the people that are with me to take care of thee in the road, and to bear thy fatigue and burden. And he said, What needeth it, my Lord, if I may find grace in thy sight? 71 Behold, I will come unto thee to Seir to dwell there together as thou hast spoken. Go thou then with thy people, for I will follow thee. 72 And Jacob said this to Esau in order to remove Esau and his men from him, so that Jacob might afterward go to his father's house to the land of Canaan. 73 And Esau hearkened to the voice of Jacob, and Esau returned with the 400 men that were with him on their road to Seir, and Jacob and all belonging to him went that day as far as the extremity of the land of Canaan in its borders, and he remained there some time. Chapter 33. 1 And in some time after Jacob went away from the borders of the land, and he came to the land of Shalem, that is the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, and he rested in front of the city. 2 And he bought a parcel of the field which was there, from the children of Hamor the people of the land, for 5 shekels. 3 And Jacob there built himself a house, and he pitched his tent there, and he made booths for his cattle, therefore he called the name of that place Succos. And Jacob remained in Succoth 1 year and 6 months. 5 At that time some of the women of the inhabitants of the land went to the city of Shechem to dance and rejoice with the daughters of the people of the city, and when they went forth then Rachel and Leah the wives of Jacob with their families also went to behold the rejoicing of the daughters of the city. 6 And Dinah the daughter of Jacob also went along with them and saw the daughters of the city, and they remained there before these daughters whilst all the people of the city were standing by them to behold their rejoicings, and all the great people of the city were there. 7 And Shechem the son of Hamor, the prince of the land was also standing there to see them. 8 And Shechem beheld Dinah the daughter of Jacob sitting with her mother before the daughters of the city, and the damsel pleased him greatly, and he there asked his friends and his people, saying, Whose daughter is that sitting amongst the women, whom I do not know in this city? 9 And they said unto him, Surely this is the daughter of Jacob the son of Isaac the Hebrew, who has dwelt in this city for some time. And when it was reported that the daughters of the land were going forth to rejoice, she went with her mother and made servants to sit amongst them as thou sayest. 10 And Shechem beheld Dinah the daughter of Jacob, and when he looked at her his soul became fixed upon Dinah. 11 And he sent and had her taken by force, and Dinah came to the house of Shechem, and he seized her forcibly and lay with her and humbled her, and he loved her exceedingly and placed her in his house. 12 And they came and told the thing unto Jacob, and when Jacob heard that Shechem had defiled his daughter Dinah, Jacob sent 12 of his servants to fetch Dinah from the house of Shechem, and they went and came to the house of Shechem to take away Dinah from there. 13 And when they came Shechem went out to them with his men and drove them from his house, and he would not suffer them to come before Dinah, but Shechem was sitting with Dinah kissing and embracing her before their eyes. 14 And the servants of Jacob came back and told him, saying, When we came, he and his men drove us away, and thus did Shechem do unto Dinah before our eyes. 15 And Jacob knew moreover that Shechem had defiled his daughter, but he said nothing, and his sons were feeding his cattle in the field, and Jacob remained silent till their return. 16 And before his sons came home Jacob sent 2 maidens from his servants' daughters to take care of Dinah in the house of Shechem, and to remain with her, and Shechem sent 3 of his friends to his father Hamor the son of Chiddekem, the son of Perd, saying, Get me this damsel for a wife. 17 And Hamor the son of Chiddekem the Hivite came to the house of Shechem his son, and he sat before him, and Hamor said unto his son Shechem, Is there then no woman amongst the daughters of thy people that thou wilt take an Hebrew woman who is not of thy people? 18 And Shechem said to him, Her only must thou get for me, for she is delightful in my sight. And Hamor did according to the word of his son, for he was greatly beloved by him. 19 And Hamor went forth to Jacob to commune with him concerning this matter, and when he had gone from the house of his son Shechem, before he came to Jacob to speak unto him, behold the sons of Jacob had come from the field, as soon as they heard the thing that Shechem the son of Hamor had done. 20 And the men were very much grieved concerning their sister, and they all came home fired with anger, before the time of gathering in their cattle. 21 And they came and sat before their father, and they spoke unto him kindled with wrath, saying, Surely death is due to this man and to his household, because the Lord God of the whole earth commanded Noah and his children that man shall never rob, nor commit adultery. Now behold Shechem has both ravaged and committed fornication with our sister, and not one of all the people of the city spoke a word to him. 22 Surely thou knowest and understandest that the judgment of death is due to Shechem, and to his father, and to the whole city on account of the thing which he has done. 23 And whilst they were speaking before their father in this matter, behold Hamor the father of Shechem came to speak to Jacob the words of his son concerning Dinah, and he sat before Jacob and before his sons. 24 And Hamor spoke unto them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her unto him for a wife and intermarry with us. Give us your daughters and we will give you our daughters, and you shall dwell with us in our land and we will be as one people in the land. 25 For our land is very extensive, so dwell ye and trade therein and get possessions in it, and do therein as you desire, and no one shall prevent you by saying a word to you. 26 And Hamor ceased speaking unto Jacob and his sons, and behold Shechem his son had come after him, and he sat before them. 27 And Shechem spoke before Jacob and his sons, saying, May I find favor in your sight that you will give me your daughter, and whatever you say unto me that will I do for her. 28 Ask me for abundance of dowry and gift, and I will give it, and whatever you shall say unto me that will I do, and whoever he be that will rebel against your orders, he shall die. Only give me the damsel for a wife. 29 And Simeon and Levi answered Hamor and Shechem his son deceitfully, saying, All you have spoken unto us we will do for you. 30 And behold our sister is in your house, but keep away from her until we send to our father Isaac concerning this matter, for we can do nothing without his consent. 31 For he knoweth the ways of our father Abraham, and whatever he saith unto us we will tell you, we will conceal nothing from you. 32 And Simeon and Levi spoke this unto Shechem and his father in order to find a pretext, and to seek counsel what was to be done to Shechem and to his city in this matter. 33 And when Shechem and his father heard the words of Simeon and Levi, it seemed good in their sight, and Shechem and his father came forth to go home. 34 And when they had gone, the sons of Jacob said unto their father, saying, Behold, we know that death is due to these wicked ones and to their city, because they transgressed that which God had commanded unto Noah and his children and his seed after them. 35 And also because Shechem did this thing to our sister Dinah in defiling her, for such vileness shall never be done amongst us. 36 Now therefore know and see what you will do, and seek counsel and pretext what is to be done to them, in order to kill all the inhabitants of this city. 37 And Simeon said to them, Here is a proper advice for you. Tell them to circumcise every male amongst them as we are circumcised, and if they do not wish to do this, we shall take our daughter from them and go away. 38 And if they consent to do this and will do it, then when they are sunk down with pain, we will attack them with our swords, as upon one who is quiet and peaceable, and we will slay every male person amongst them. 39 And Simeon's advice pleased them, and Simeon and Levi resolved to do unto them as it was proposed. 40 And on the next morning Shechem and Hamor his father came again unto Jacob and his sons, to speak concerning Dinah, and to hear what answer the sons of Jacob would give to their words. 41 And the sons of Jacob spoke deceitfully to them, saying, We told our father Isaac all your words, and your words pleased him. 42 But he spoke unto us, saying, Thus did Abraham his father command him from God the Lord of the whole earth, that any man who is not of his descendants that should wish to take one of his daughters, shall cause every male belonging to him to be circumcised, as we are circumcised, and then we may give him our daughter for a wife. 43 Now we have made known to you all our ways that our father spoke unto us, for we cannot do this of which you spoke unto us, to give our daughter to an uncircumcised man, for it is a disgrace to us. 44 But herein will we consent to you to give you our daughter, and we will also take unto ourselves your daughters, and will dwell amongst you and be one people as you have spoken, if you will hearken to us and consent to be like us, to circumcise every male belonging to you as we are circumcised. 45 And if you will not hearken unto us, to have every male circumcised as we are circumcised as we have commanded, then we will come to you, and take our daughter from you and go away. 46 And Shechem and his father Hamor heard the words of the sons of Jacob, and the thing pleased them exceedingly, and Shechem and his father Hamor hastened to do the wishes of the sons of Jacob, for Shechem was very fond of Dinah, and his soul was riveted to her. 47 And Shechem and his father Hamor hastened to the gate of the city, and they assembled all the men of their city and spoke unto them the words of the sons of Jacob, saying, 48 We came to these men, the sons of Jacob, and we spoke unto them concerning their daughter, and these men will consent to do according to our wishes, and behold our land is of great extent for them, and they will dwell in it and trade in it, and we shall be one people. We will take their daughters, and our daughters we will give unto them for wives. 49 But only on this condition will these men consent to do this thing, that every male amongst us be circumcised as they are circumcised, as their God commanded them, and when we shall have done according to their instructions to be circumcised, then will they dwell amongst us, together with their cattle and possessions, and we shall be as one people with them. 50 And when all the men of the city heard the words of Shechem and his father Hamor, then all the men of their city were agreeable to this proposal, and they obeyed to be circumcised, for Shechem and his father Hamor were greatly esteemed by them, being the princes of the land. 51 And on the next day Shechem and Hamor his father rose up early in the morning, and they assembled all the men of their city into the middle of the city, and they called for the sons of Jacob, who circumcised every male belonging to them on that day and the next. 52 And they circumcised Shechem and Hamor his father, and the 5 brothers of Shechem, and then every one rose up and went home, for this thing was from the Lord against the city of Shechem, and from the Lord was Simeon's counsel in this matter, in order that the Lord might deliver the city of Shechem into the hands of Jacob's 2 sons. Chapter 34. 1 And the number of all the males that were circumcised were 645 men, and 246 children. 2 But Chiddekem, son of Pered, the father of Hamor, and his 6 brothers, would not listen unto Shechem and his father Hamor, and they would not be circumcised, for the proposal of the sons of Jacob was loathsome in their sight, and their anger was greatly roused at this, that the people of the city had not hearkened to them. 3 And in the evening of the 2nd day, they found 8 small children who had not been circumcised, for their mothers had concealed them from Shechem and his father Hamor, and from the men of the city. For and Shechem and his father Hamor sent to have them brought before them to be circumcised, when Chiddekem and his 6 brothers sprang at them with their swords and sought to slay them. 5 And they sought to slay also Shechem and his father Hamor, and they sought to slay Dinah with them on account of this matter. 6 And they said unto them, What is this thing that you have done? Are there no women amongst the daughters of your brethren the Canaanites, that you wish to take unto yourselves daughters of the Hebrews, whom ye knew not before, and will do this act which your fathers never commanded you? 7 Do you imagine that you will succeed through this act which you have done? And what will you answer in this affair to your brethren the Canaanites, who will come tomorrow and ask you concerning this thing? 8 And if your act shall not appear just and good in their sight, what will you do for your lives and me for our lives, in your not having hearkened to our voices? 9 And if the inhabitants of the land and all your brethren the children of Ham shall hear of your act, saying, 10 On account of a Hebrew woman did Shechem and Hamor his father, and all the inhabitants of their city, do that with which they had been unacquainted and which their ancestors never commanded them, where then will you fly or where conceal your shame, all your days before your brethren, the inhabitants of the land of Canaan? 11 Now therefore we cannot bear up against this thing which you have done, neither can we be burdened with this yoke upon us, which our ancestors did not command us. 12 Behold, tomorrow we will go and assemble all our brethren, the Canaanitish brethren who dwell in the land, and we will all come and smite you and all those who trust in you, that there shall not be a remnant left from you or them. 13 And when Hamor and his son Shechem and all the people of the city heard the words of Chiddekem and his brothers, they were terribly afraid of their lives at their words, and they repented of what they had done. 14 And Shechem and his father Hamor answered their father Chiddekem and his brethren, and they said unto them, All the words which you spoke unto us are true. 15 Now do not say, nor imagine in your hearts that on account of the love of the Hebrews we did this thing that our ancestors did not command us. 16 But because we saw that it was not their intention and desire to accede to our wishes concerning their daughter as to our taking her, except on this condition, so we hearkened to their voices and did this act which you saw, in order to obtain our desire from them. 17 And when we shall have obtained our request from them, we will then return to them and do unto them that which you say unto us. 18 We beseech you then to wait and tarry until our flesh shall be healed and we again become strong, and we will then go together against them, and do unto them that which is in your hearts and in ours. 19 And Dinah the daughter of Jacob heard all these words which Chiddekem and his brothers had spoken, and what Hamor and his son Shechem and the people of their city had answered them. 20 And she hastened and sent one of her maidens, that her father had sent to take care of her in the house of Shechem, to Jacob her father and to her brethren, saying, 21 Thus did Chiddekem and his brothers advise concerning you, and thus did Hamor and Shechem and the people of the city answer them. 22 And when Jacob heard these words he was filled with wrath, and he was indignant at them, and his anger was kindled against them. 23 And Simeon and Levi swore and said, As the Lord liveth, the God of the whole earth, by this time tomorrow, there shall not be a remnant left in the whole city. 24 And 20 young men had concealed themselves who were not circumcised, and these young men fought against Simeon and Levi, and Simeon and Levi killed 18 of them, and 2 fled from them and escaped to some lime pits that were in the city, and Simeon and Levi sought for them but could not find them. 25 And Simeon and Levi continued to go about in the city, and they killed all the people of the city at the edge of the sword, and they left none remaining. 26 And there was a great consternation in the midst of the city, and the cry of the people of the city ascended to heaven, and all the women and children cried aloud. 27 And Simeon and Levi slew all the city, they left not a male remaining in the whole city. 28 And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son at the edge of the sword, and they brought away Dinah from the house of Shechem and they went from there. 29 And the sons of Jacob went and returned, and came upon the slain, and spoiled all their property which was in the city and the field. 30 And whilst they were taking the spoil, 300 men stood up and threw dust at them and struck them with stones, when Simeon turned to them and he slew them all with the edge of the sword, and Simeon turned before Levi and came into the city. 31 And they took away their sheep and their oxen and their cattle, and also the remainder of the women and little ones, and they led all these away, and they opened a gate and went out and came unto their father Jacob with vigor. 32 And when Jacob saw all that they had done to the city, and saw the spoil that they took from them, Jacob was very angry at them, and Jacob said unto them, What is this that you have done to me? Behold, I obtained rest amongst the Canaanitish inhabitants of the land, and none of them meddled with me. 33 And now you have done to make me obnoxious to the inhabitants of the land, amongst the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I am but of a small number, and they will all assemble against me and slay me when they hear of your work with their brethren, and I and my household will be destroyed. 34 And Simeon and Levi and all their brothers with them answered their father Jacob and said unto him, Behold, we live in the land, and shall Shechem do this to our sister? Why art thou silent at all that Shechem has done? And shall he deal with our sister as with a harlot in the streets? 35 And the number of women whom Simeon and Levi took captives from the city of Shechem, whom they did not slay, was 85 who had not known man. 36 And amongst them was a young damsel of beautiful appearance and well-favored, whose name was Bunah, and Simeon took her for a wife, and the number of the males which they took captives and did not slay, was 47 men, and the rest they slew. 37 And all the young men and women that Simeon and Levi had taken captives from the city of Shechem, were servants to the sons of Jacob and to their children after them, until the day of the sons of Jacob going forth from the land of Egypt. 38 And when Simeon and Levi had gone forth from the city, the 2 young men that were left who had concealed themselves in the city, and did not die amongst the people of the city, rose up, and these young men went into the city and walked about in it, and found the city desolate without man, and only women weeping, and these young men cried out and said, Behold, this is the evil which the sons of Jacob the Hebrew did to this city in their having this day destroyed one of the Canaanitish cities, and were not afraid of their lives of all the land of Canaan. 39 And these men left the city and went to the city of Tapnach, and they came there and told the inhabitants of Tapnach all that had befallen them, and all that the sons of Jacob had done to the city of Shechem. 40 And the information reached Jasher king of Tapnach, and he sent men to the city of Shechem to see those young men, for the king did not believe them in this account, saying, How could 2 men lay waste such a large town as Shechem? 41 And the messengers of Jasher came back and told him, saying, We came unto the city, and it is destroyed, there is not a man there, only weeping women, neither is any flock or cattle there, for all that was in the city the sons of Jacob took away. 42 And Jasher wondered at this, saying, How could 2 men do this thing to destroy so large a city, and not one man able to stand against them? 43 For the like has not been from the days of Nimrod, and not even from the remotest time has the like taken place. And Jasher king of Tapnach said to his people, Be courageous and we will go and fight against these Hebrews, and do unto them as they did unto the city, and we will avenge the cause of the people of the city. 44 And Jasher king of Tapnach consulted with his counselors about this matter, and his advisers said unto him, Alone thou wilt not prevail over the Hebrews, for they must be powerful to do this work to the whole city. 45 If 2 of them laid waste the whole city, and no one stood against them, surely if thou wilt go against them, they will all rise against us and destroy us likewise. 46 But if thou wilt send to all the kings that surround us, and let them come together, then we will go with them and fight against the sons of Jacob. Then wilt thou prevail against them. 47 And Jasher heard the words of his counselors, and their words pleased him and his people, and he did so. And Jasher king of Tapnach sent to all the kings of the Amorites that surrounded Shechem and Tapnach, saying, 48 Go up with me and assist me, and we will smite Jacob the Hebrew and all his sons and destroy them from the earth, for thus did he do to the city of Shechem, and do you not know of it? 49 And all the kings of the Amorites heard the evil that the sons of Jacob had done to the city of Shechem, and they were greatly astonished at them. 50 And the 7 kings of the Amorites assembled with all their armies, about 10,000 men with drawn swords, and they came to fight against the sons of Jacob. And Jacob heard that the kings of the Amorites had assembled to fight against his sons, and Jacob was greatly afraid, and it distressed him. 51 And Jacob exclaimed against Simeon and Levi, saying, What is this act that you did? Why have you injured me, to bring against me all the children of Canaan to destroy me and my household? For I was at rest, even I and my household, and you have done this thing to me, and provoked the inhabitants of the land against me by your proceedings. 52 And Judah answered his father, saying, Was it for naught my brothers Simeon and Levi killed all the inhabitants of Shechem? Surely it was because Shechem had humbled our sister, and transgressed the command of our God to Noah and his children, for Shechem took our sister away by force and committed adultery with her. 53 And Shechem did all this evil, and not one of the inhabitants of his city interfered with him, to say, Why wilt thou do this? Surely for this my brothers went and smote the city, and the Lord delivered it into their hands, because its inhabitants had transgressed the commands of our God. Is it then for naught that they have done all this? 54 And now why art thou afraid or distressed, and why art thou displeased at my brothers, and why is thine anger kindled against them? 55 Surely our God who delivered into their hand the city of Shechem and its people, he will also deliver into our hands all the Canaanitish kings who are coming against us, and we will do unto them as my brothers did unto Shechem. 56 Now be tranquil about them and cast away thy fears, but trust in the Lord our God, and pray unto him to assist us and deliver our enemies into our hands. 57 And Judah called to one of his father's servants, Go now and see where those kings who are coming against us are situated with their armies. 58 And the servant went and looked far off, and went up opposite Mount Sion, and saw all the camps of the kings standing in the fields, and he returned to Judah and said, Behold, the kings are situated in the field with all their camps, a people exceedingly numerous, like unto the sand upon the seashore. 59 And Judah said unto Simeon and Levi, and unto all his brothers, Strengthen yourselves and be sons of valor, for the Lord our God is with us, do not fear them. 60 Stand forth each man, girt with his weapons of war, his bow and his sword, and we will go and fight against these uncircumcised men. The Lord is our God, he will save us. 61 And they rose up, and each girt on his weapons of war, great and small, 11 sons of Jacob, and all the servants of Jacob with them. 62 And all the servants of Isaac who were with Isaac in Hebron, all came to them equipped in all sorts of war instruments, and the sons of Jacob and their servants, being 112 men, went towards these kings, and Jacob also went with them. 63 And the sons of Jacob sent unto their father Isaac the son of Abraham to Hebron, the same is Kirith Arba, saying, 64 Pray we beseech thee for us unto the Lord our God, to protect us from the hands of the Canaanites who are coming against us, and to deliver them into our hands. 65 And Isaac the son of Abraham prayed unto the Lord for his sons, and he said, O Lord God, thou didst promise my father, saying, I will multiply thy seed as the stars of heaven, and thou didst also promise me, and establish thou thy word, now that the kings of Canaan are coming together, to make war with my children because they committed no violence. 66 Now therefore, O Lord God, God of the whole earth, pervert, I pray thee, the counsel of these kings that they may not fight against my sons. 67 And impress the hearts of these kings and their people with the terror of my sons and bring down their pride, and that they may turn away from my sons. 68 And with thy strong hand and outstretched arm deliver my sons and their servants from them, for power and might are in thy hands to do all this. 69 And the sons of Jacob and their servants went toward these kings, and they trusted in the Lord their God, and whilst they were going Jacob their father also prayed unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, powerful and exalted God, who has reigned from days of old, from thence till now and forever. 70 Thou art he who stirreth up wars and causeth them to cease, in thy hand are power and might to exalt and to bring down. O may my prayer be acceptable before thee that thou mayest turn to me with thy mercies, to impress the hearts of these kings and their people with the terror of my sons, and terrify them in their camps, and with thy great kindness deliver all those that trust in thee, for it is thou who canst bring people under us and reduce nations under our power. Chapter 35 1 And all the kings of the Amorites came and took their stand in the field to consult with their counselors what was to be done with the sons of Jacob, for they were still afraid of them, saying, Behold, 2 of them slew the whole of the city of Shechem. 2 And the Lord heard the prayers of Isaac and Jacob, and he filled the hearts of all these kings' advisers with great fear and terror that they unanimously exclaimed, 3 Are you silly this day, or is there no understanding in you, that you will fight with the Hebrews, and why will you take a delight in your own destruction this day? For behold, 2 of them came to the city of Shechem without fear or terror, and they killed all the inhabitants of the city, that no man stood up against them, and how will you be able to fight with them all? 5 Surely you know that their God is exceedingly fond of them, and has done mighty things for them, such as have not been done from days of old, and amongst all the gods of nations, there is none can do like unto his mighty deeds. 6 Surely he delivered their father Abraham, the Hebrew, from the hand of Nimrod, and from the hand of all his people who had many times sought to slay him. 7 He delivered him also from the fire in which King Nimrod had cast him, and his God delivered him from it. 8 And who else can do the like? Surely it was Abraham who slew the 5 kings of Elam, when they had touched his brother's son who in those days dwelt in Sodom. 9 And took his servant that was faithful in his house and a few of his men, and they pursued the kings of Elam in one night and killed them, and restored to his brother's son all his property which they had taken from him. 10 And surely you know the God of these Hebrews is much delighted with them, and they are also delighted with him, for they know that he delivered them from all their enemies. 11 And behold, through his love toward his God, Abraham took his only and precious son and intended to bring him up as a burnt offering to his God, and had it not been for God who prevented him from doing this, he would then have done it through his love to his God. 12 And God saw all his works and swore unto him, and promised him that he would deliver his sons and all his seed from every trouble that would befall them, because he had done this thing, and through his love to his God stifled his compassion for his child. 13 And have you not heard what their God did to Pharaoh king of Egypt, and to Abimelech king of Gerar, through taking Abraham's wife, who said of her, She is my sister, lest they might slay him on account of her, and think of taking her for a wife? And God did unto them and their people all that you heard of. 14 And behold, we ourselves saw with our eyes that Esau, the brother of Jacob, came to him with 400 men, with the intention of slaying him, for he called to mind that he had taken away from him his father's blessing. 15 And he went to meet him when he came from Syria, to smite the mother with the children, and who delivered him from his hands but his God in whom he trusted. He delivered him from the hand of his brother and also from the hands of his enemies, and surely he again will protect them. 16 Who does not know that it was their God who inspired them with strength to do to the town of Shechem the evil which you heard of? 17 Could it then be with their own strength that two men could destroy such a large city as Shechem had it not been for their God in whom they trusted? He said and did unto them all this to slay the inhabitants of the city in their city. 18 And can you then prevail over them who have come forth together from your city to fight with the whole of them, even if 1,000 times as many more should come to your assistance? 19 Surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their God who made choice of them, and you have therefore all come this day to be destroyed. 20 Now therefore refrain from this evil which you are endeavoring to bring upon yourselves, and it will be better for you not to go to battle with them, although they are but few in numbers, because their God is with them. 21 And when the kings of the Amorites heard all the words of their advisers, their hearts were filled with terror, and they were afraid of the sons of Jacob and would not fight against them. 22 And they inclined their ears to the words of their advisers, and they listened to all their words, and the words of the counselors greatly pleased the kings, and they did so. 23 And the kings turned and refrained from the sons of Jacob, for they durst not approach them to make war with them, for they were greatly afraid of them, and their hearts melted within them from their fear of them. 24 For this proceeded from the Lord to them, for he heard the prayers of his servants Isaac and Jacob, for they trusted in him. And all these kings returned with their camps on that day, each to his own city, and they did not at that time fight with the sons of Jacob. 25 And the sons of Jacob kept their station that day till evening opposite Mount Sion, and seeing that these kings did not come to fight against them, the sons of Jacob returned home.